So next up is Steve Sams, who leads our services channels business.
Thank you, Christy. And I'm absolutely delighted to be here. And what I want to start with is a thank you to you. Many of you may have a perception that the services business, the global technology services business, really doesn't embrace the channel, doesn't embrace our business partners very effectively. And it's very clear that we are novices at working with our business partners. But in 2012, you delivered $3 billion of GTS revenue at very high year-over-year growth rates. And we clearly want to continue that trend at even an accelerated rate. So thank you very much for your support in 2012. My mission in this conversation is really to help you change from this old world thinking of GTS really isn't interested or we're a competitor, et cetera, into a really new world of opportunity here, to recognize that there are huge growth opportunities for each of us and that there's a fantastic opportunity to make both of our organizations very rich in this journey in the new world. But let me start with where we were in the old world. In the old world, the global technology services you may have viewed as primarily large customer-centric, an organization that focused on very large transactions that were very complex, that required lots and lots of integration, very challenging things to do. You may have viewed your interactions with IBM as very simple. In many cases, you are a partner for us in the maintenance business, but for everything else, you probably viewed us either as a competitor or as irrelevant into the markets that you served. We clearly want to change that. You know, as Bruno described, the innovation leader of today is the commodity of tomorrow. You know, the model in the late 90s for the services business was a large deal, major customer, major market-centric business. That served us very well from a growth perspective, but the market has changed and we are changing too. Let me give you a sense of what this new world really does look like. And many people have described aspects of this so far in the conference. First of all, we've got a series of new customers buying new things. Chief marketing officers, chief culinary officers, which all of us now know that phrase and will probably use since we all are consistently using it. And they're buying completely different things than they bought in the past. We've got new technology and new computing models, things that are really providing our customers scale, providing economics, providing the ability to go global in ways that they could never have imagined in the past. And those customers are not buying technology, so to speak. They're buying outcomes, outcomes for their business, changes in their business to become more efficient, more relevant to their customer set, to be able to expand their business in new and unique ways, to be competitive, et cetera. So what have we really discovered? What we've really discovered is the GTS business has stopped kidding itself. We do serve a great portion of our revenue with a relatively small set of very important customers. But there are other huge growth opportunities in this marketplace, and we realize as an organization we'll never get to those spaces without you as our partners. We're highly valuing things that you have, reach and relationships with a very broad set of customers that, quite frankly, we will never get to. Things like assets and capabilities and tools and software and skills that really enrich that outcome solution that customers are looking for. And we realize that you are lean, responsive, competitive, and we need to be lean, responsive, and competitive just to keep up with you to get after these market opportunities. So there is a huge market opportunity space there. And what I want to do over the next few minutes is share with you the things we are doing to become more relevant to you, the things we are doing to help you make the choice that becomes an IBM partner choice versus somebody else's choice. And those things are 4 very simple things. And what I'll do is I'll describe them in a broad context and then take you through some example details on each of them. The first is really the marketplace is changing and the partner community is changing as well. And let me come to some of the things we're embracing as a result of that. The second is we are building capabilities, assets, new offerings, things that will make you more effective, more differentiated, more competitive in the marketplace. Third is we're building demand generation engines that we tested last year for ourselves and we want to make available to you. There are fantastic capabilities to create demand for you that you can leverage. And the last thing we want to do is obviously focus on skills. Enrich our skills in terms of how we deal with you and make more capable skills available to you, more technical and product support skills available to you. But we also want to give you the tools to skill your own population. So let me start on the first of those 4 themes about embracing a broader partner set. If you look at managed service providers, if you look at ISVs, organizations like Eagle and S-Ray. S-Ray was a partner in Eagle in delivering those solutions where there were 3 million hits in 3 hours when there was an earthquake that hit New Zealand because people really needed that critical information. Those partners are absolutely aligned to the service's value proposition, absolutely aligned to the kinds of things our customers are looking for. And so we're really focused on enabling the right tools, the right capability, the right engagement, the right recruitment for those partners around the world. The second major piece of the business partner model is really around business partner-led territories. In 2012, we tried a little experiment. The experiment was, could we define 160 territories around the world that are owned by the business partner community? There was not an IBM GTS person within sight unless they needed them to support them. So those are territories led by business partners. We learned from that experiment. Some of the learning was good and some was bad. The bad part was 80 of those 160 territories yielded 0. And so we're working on, did we have the right offerings, the right partners, the right capabilities for those specific territories? The other territories, however, and these territories didn't start delivering revenue until 3rd quarter 2012, delivered $45 million of incremental revenue in their first 6 months. We plan to take those. First, we'll correct the actions that were taken for the 80 territories that were non-productive, and we're going to add another 100 territories for a total of 260 territories that are business partner-led territories around the world in 2013. The last example around embracing new business partner models is really kind of a teach old dog new tricks story. What we found when we explored our own business was our growth markets were treating our partners in a very, very different way. So on average, outside of our maintenance business, the growth markets were delivering 27% of their revenue through business partners, while in traditional markets, we were delivering 5 to 7% of our revenue through business partners. Dramatically different. Why? The simple answer was that growth markets had very aggressively embraced a very well-defined set of business partners with very deep skills in specific areas to be able to be co-sell, co-delivery partners with us in those specific areas. And that's been an extremely successful model that we're expanding back into major markets to do exactly the same thing and get the same kind of growth. So now let's talk a little bit about assets. What are we doing that we can leverage on your behalf or you can leverage on our behalf to your advantage? And I'll start with a security example. You may know that Zappos, a retail organization globally, had a small problem last year. Someone got access to 25 million client financial records. And overnight, that organization's sales, reputation, etc., went in the dumpster. Customers are spending about $30 billion a year on security activities to ensure that they don't become another Zappos. That's growing at about $2.5 billion a year. That's a tremendous opportunity for both of us to wrap our arms around. And we built huge, very capable assets to serve those markets. We have 10 security operations centers a day that are serving about 4,000 customers. They're getting 20 billion security events a day that they manage. Tim Shaughnessy talked about that a little bit yesterday, but what he forgot to mention was, of those 20 billion events a day, 10 to 30 events are things we've never seen before. Things that somebody has created to try to get into an environment that is new. And so those thousands of researchers build an inoculation technique, build a technique to prevent that intrusion to hurt our 4,000 customers, inoculate our customer base on that problem, and then we also send the resolution to the Oracles or Microsofts or whoever's of the world that somebody has figured out how to get into. But in essence, that customer base is now inoculated in days versus waiting for the release from the Oracles or Microsofts or whoever that might occur 5 months, 6 months, 8 months later. So these are tremendously powerful assets. And quite frankly, if you're interested in security, I would encourage you to go to the security breakout at 3 o'clock today in the Pisa room. The next example I'll take you through is resiliency. How many people here are from the northeast of the United States? You and I witnessed a whole bunch of what happened, unfortunately, with Sandy just 5 months ago. Hundreds of customers found that their resiliency plan was not sufficient. Their business was out of business until they could scramble to put something back in place to actually run the IT for their capabilities. We have that marketplace is huge. It's huge in the traditional disaster recovery business, but a growing aspect of that that's about a $500 million opportunity today is building recovery as a service, recovery for your storage devices, recovery for your servers, all over the web, all online. That business currently is a $500 million business that's doubling almost every 2 years. To get to that opportunity, we're building tools and capabilities that we're launching to protect server devices, to protect storage devices that, again, are over the web. It takes advantage of very deep skills and capabilities we have in the disaster recovery business. For example, we have 160 disaster recovery centers around the world. Last year alone, we had 850 customer disasters, and not one of those customers was let down. Everyone was recovered on time with the ability that we have in those centers. And it's a very broad-reaching set of capabilities. It's not just data center capabilities, it's critical mission capabilities like trading room floors for banks, et cetera, et cetera. So again, if you'd like to explore that venue, then I encourage you to join us at the Pisa room at 2 p.m. And the general manager of our disaster recovery business is in that session. Please come see us. But assets aren't just investments in buildings and resource and other capabilities, and they're not just always in emerging areas. In many cases, they can be in relatively traditional areas. Let me give you a simple example, and the example is maintenance renewals. That opportunity is about a $500 million opportunity a year. The challenge is, in the old world, that meant you had to cobble together when is when are these renewals or current maintenance agreements actually expiring by customer? What is the contract and pricing I'll get from IBM? All of those things you were forced to cobble together yourself, and quite frankly, it was really too difficult to pursue. So what we built is an automation tool that does 3 very simple things. First of all, 90 days before your customer's piece of equipment runs out of maintenance, you'll get the following package. First of all, it assembles all of the equipment for that individual customer that is coming up for renewal over a period of time. Second of all, attached to that information is a proposal and a contract customized and pre-priced for that customer. So in essence, what we're asking you to do now is 2 relatively simple things. Print it, take it to the customer, and get it signed. So there's a huge revenue opportunity that in essence we are automating all of the activity for you to do as easily as humanly possible. That's currently rolling out in the United States, and in the next 6 months will be rolling out around the world. Let me use one final asset example, and then I'll get to the final summaries, and that is, we do build lots of assets that we've used ourselves. Here's a specific example. We do lots of relocations and moves, but how many people here are MSPs? Hands? Hands, hands, hands. Okay, so a lot of the MSPs I talk to actually have customers where they're moving them to their data center or other locations. We found that when we relocate customers' technology, if there's a failure 90% of the time, it's because we moved a piece of technology, but we didn't understand what technology components the application actually used. So when we brought the server back up, there was a storage device that had a database that application needed that was still stranded back in the old site. So a few years ago, we went to research, and they built a very lightweight tool for us called Analytics for Logical Dependency Mapping. This little chart is a map of all of the applications a customer has and the hardware interdependencies of those applications. Those red circles are things called move groups. That's the technology that has to be moved together for these applications to run successfully when they're powered back up in the new site. We've been using that tool incredibly successfully for the last 3 years around the world ourselves, and now we're going to make this tool and other tools like it available to you to add the quality, efficiency, reliability that you may not have access to with capabilities like this. So let's get to the summary here. The first is, we really do want to create demand generation engines for you. Last year, we tried a new approach where we used some social networking tools, some analytics, and we attempted, in the pilot, we pulled 1.5 million customers looking for a specific opportunity set. That 1.5 million customer poll highlighted $900 million of pipeline that we then pursued. $900 million of pipeline. We want to take those tools and this year figure out how to get these kinds of tools, demand generation and capability to you as our partners. In addition to that, we all realize that skills are critically important. Skills for your own employees, skills around offering capabilities, and skills that demonstrate through certification that you have a competency that's extremely valuable in the marketplace. And so this is a summary of the actions that were really taking place in those areas. Now, let me just take a break and have a quick vignette from a partner who's been going along this journey with us. Could you please roll the video?
ComPro is one of the most prominent IT solution provider system integrator companies in Turkey. It was founded in 1998. The Global Cloud Initiative presented a real challenge, if not a threat, to ComPro's core businesses, just like the data center consolidation and system outsourcing movements once did. So ComPro decided to shift its business to a service delivery model as IBM recommended to its business partners. The prime bidder white labeler BP model for IBM Smart Cloud Enterprise just came in handy for us to start with a new trademark, CloudPro, and enabled us to work more closely with IBM around developing services tailored for the specific needs of local and regional market. ComPro chose IBM Global Technology Services because IBM actually sets the standards in cloud technology, is itself the largest global technology provider, including infrastructure, software, and services components, has many data centers around the globe with very high standards. The major benefits for ComPro through the BP-led model are the increased margins, flexibility in developing new services, potential to reach a completely different set of customers. It's really an honor for us, for ComPro, being chosen this year as the winner of the Beacon Award in Cloud Services Provider Solution category. Apart from motivating all our teams and gaining us global recognition, it also clearly shows us what we're trying to achieve is actually right.
So congratulations again to ComPro as a Beacon Award winner. That's one of the first Beacon Awards the GTS business has ever given out, so congratulations. So in summary, the old world is gone. The new world has arrived, and the business partner community is incredibly important to the global technology services business. We want you to think of us as a critical partner. The market opportunity for both of us is huge, and we really think that we have an approach, we have assets, we have capabilities that when we combine together, we can kill it. There's a huge opportunity for both of us to make tremendous amounts of money. In your journey, here are some of the contacts that you can use. We've been repopulating our executive team around the world to ensure that we have the very best skills facing you, and these are the leaders around the world that run our business partner organization for global technology services around the world. If you have a problem, if you have an opportunity, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or any one of these individuals. So thank you so much for your time this morning. I really appreciate it, and thank you again for everything that you did for us in 2012. We look forward to a fantastic 2013. So now let me invite Rod back on stage, and I think he has a few Beacon Awards of his own.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Rod.
Great job. Okay. The best, one of the best part of my job. I love giving out money, and I love recognizing excellence. Everything else sort of hurts. Because if you think about it, if I'm giving out money and recognizing excellence, that means we are performing well, right? And I think that's a good introduction to this Beacon Award. This is something I've always enjoyed for a number of years, and it's always great to recognize our partners for excellence. And quite frankly, we have a great network of partners. So I want to first say we want to leverage all of you, and we will continue to leverage all of you, but we have 9 people that we want to recognize that sort of stepped above the standard. And before I get started, I want to invite up Stephen Leonard. And Stephen, hopefully, is not a stranger to you. He's coming back to Systems and Technology Group. He is our global sales leader, and before that, he ran a very successful region, our UKI region, so we're delighted to have Stephen back as a part of Systems and Technology Group, and he will assist me with our award winners. So the first award, Outstanding Expert Integrated System Solution, and it's going to go to Pure Systems, and it's awarded to Advent One. Great job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. right? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, the next award, Outstanding IT Transformation Solutions for Power Systems. And I'm pretty happy to make this presentation to Beijing's Team Sun Technology Company. Thank you very much. Very good. Thank you. Okay, number 3, Outstanding Optimized System Solutions on Enterprise Servers, and that's awarded to Yunnan Nantian Electronics Information Company. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. All right, very good, very good. Next, Outstanding Optimized x86 System Solution for both Systems X and Blade Center, and this is awarded to Data Trend Technologies. All right. Minnesota friend. All right, that's all right. Thank you. All right. Do good job. All right. All right. Our next award, Outstanding Smarter Storage Solutions, Smarter Storage, and that is to Mark III Systems. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Good. All right, thank you, thank you. All right, Outstanding Competitive Solution awarded to Foresight Solutions Group. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah. Right? Okay, thank you. All right, in the category of Smarter Solutions, the Beacon Award for Integrated Hardware, Software, and Services Innovation is awarded to SiteCom. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. David. Face that way. Okay, all right, thank you. All right, in the category of Outstanding Technical Excellence in the Major Markets, the Beacon Award is presented to Prolifics. Thank you very much, all right? All right. You'll get your own. No, you'll get your own suit. Okay. All right, and to wrap it up, and I would like to invite back up to the stage in the category of Outstanding Technical Excellence in Growth Markets, the Beacon Award, Advent One. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. All right. Well done. All right, thank you. Okay, now with that, I guess the fun is over for me. So I would like to invite back up Mark Hennessy. Mark.
Thank you, Rod and Stephen. How about one more round of applause for all the Beacon winners this morning? Outstanding. And thank you also to Christy and Steve for laying out a compelling view of how they and their teams are going to help us all be successful in 2013. Okay, after our morning break, we'll continue our shared agenda conversation by talking with channel leader from software, Mark Register. And so we'll see you back here in about 20 minutes, okay? Thank you, everybody.